It's the Joel Shit Show featuring Joel Shit. Hi, and welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. So, it's Easter. Yay! Just like my dough for the bread I was baking, it has risen indeed. Yep. Hooray for Zombie Jesus. So last night was another Nickel City show. There's a lot of them these days. So I try to go when I can and support the cause. I bought a shirt one time when Pre was playing, for example. And, I have to get gas. That's right. Oh man, it's a good thing I'm paying attention. Maybe I'll run out of gas. That would be awesome. Shit, I really should get gas, so I need to think about that. I need to think about it. Oh wait, there's a gas station next to Lenardi's where I'm going. That'll be fun. So I'm really sorry yesterday's episode was so long. As you well know, I get distracted when I'm driving, and without the 3-minute limit, I'll just keep right on rambling, like I am right now, as a matter of fact. Now, yesterday when I talked about all the bands that played, I remembered their names, and it was just a very big to-do. I don't remember a damn thing, really, about any of these bands that played last night, except the third act of the 5 was called Themes, T-H-E-M-E-S, and they're from Portland. And it was a woman on a keyboard singing and a guy on a guitar singing, and there was no drums or nothing. And it was a good show, and I really enjoyed it, but that's all it was. So, what are you going to do? The first act was some guy on a guitar, and the crowd seemed to know him, and he could sing pretty well. He played the guitar really well, and I'll give it to good old Eric Finale. He doesn't put on bad shows, and I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to make a show go well. You can have a good promoter, but the bands suck. You can have good bands, but the promoter sucks. The venue can suck. The sound can suck. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Eric's a good promoter. He takes care of his acts, as far as I know. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him. And the acts are actually, they're good musicians and they can sing 99 times out of 100. And that says a lot, because there's a lot of really lousy independent artists out there. There's a reason why some artists are independent. Sometimes they're just not that good. But Eric figures out where the good ones are, and he books just the good ones. So this guy, he was fine. The next act was like 12 different people, or 10 different people. It's like watching Polyphonic Spree or Porcupine Tree or one of those other bands that my friend likes that has a lot of members in the band, but I don't remember anything else about them. So anyway, they just sang a lot of harmonizing. You can't help but harmonize with that many people out there, but it was good, so it was fine. I really enjoyed that too. And the third act was Themes, which I already told you about. They weren't as good as Headlights the night before, but they were still very good. And then the fourth act I missed, because World Stadium 92 did... Oh, I could have gone straight, stupid traffic light. World Stadium 92 is my favorite game to play in Nickel City, but it was off, which is good. It means they're finally fixing the controller that doesn't always go left. And of course, the only thing worse than a controller that doesn't work is one that works some of the time, because you get dependent on it. So I played this other game from Namco. It's called Great Sluggers. It has all 30 Major League Baseball teams from 1994. So it's like the Rockies still have David Meade, for example. And I use the Astros. So, we got Mike Hampton, Pete Harnisch, Doug Drabeck. Batting, you've got Tony Asubio and Bagwell and Bagwell and Biggio, and Bouton was the leadoff hitter. So the way it works is the game starts in the 7th inning. You have to beat 4 teams within your division. Then you go to the playoffs, and you have the wild card round, the divisional round. Sorry, I'm thinking of football. The championship series, and then the World Series. So I played Colorado in the division series. I played Pittsburgh again in the championship series. I already played them in the regular season. And then I played the Seattle Mariners in the World Series, which makes sense because the Mariners are pretty good in 1994. They had a young Ken Griffey and Edgar Martinez and Jay Buhner. Although they pinch hit for Jay Buhner, who was their cleanup hitter, in the 7th inning with Mackey Sasser. Why would you pinch hit for Jay Buhner with Mackey Sasser? Maybe he was hurt or something. I don't know. But I was perplexed by that. I thought that was a bad move on the computer's part. Bad AI. Now, all the games start in the 7th inning, and in the regular season games, like the first couple, you're winning by 2, then by 1. Then starting with the 3rd game, you're tied. And then, but they're all 7th inning games, but you still have your full pitching staff, so, you know, you can really do matchups if you want to. It's not really necessary. It automates the fielding, too, so it's actually pretty easy to play. And so it's fun because you know the guys, and for me, it takes me back 15 years to baseball and all the groaning names, you know, not like Tony Bernazard or anything, but still pretty entertaining. So, then the World Series game against the Mariners, that one's a 9-inning game because it's the World Series, right? And there's a national anthem, and it's pretty cool. And because they use this of rotation, the number 2 starter was set to go in that game for the other team, which is great because the number 1 starter on the Seattle Mariners is Randy Johnson. The number 2 starter is Chris Bosio. No problem with Chris Bosio. I got a couple of runs off of him. And then they went to the bullpen, but no worries. So every team has the starting rotation and the closer, that's it. So there's 5 or 6 pitchers on each team, all 5 starters and the closer. So I had Mitch Williams, and his ERA was like 9-something, but you know, he didn't blow any saves for me. So anyway, I beat the game with the Astros, and it was a lot of fun. But the problem is after every inning you have to continue. Now the game's set for free play, so that's okay. But the problem is you can't pick up where you left off later. There's no password, there's no battery, nothing like that. So if I wanted to beat the game, I needed to play, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 7 games, so that all 27 innings at once. And one of my games went 12 innings because I couldn't score. So it can take a while, and so I missed the 4th band because of that. And now I know I'm going to miss the band if I play that, but I might again because I got to beat it with the Twins after all. At least unless they fix World Stadium 92, then I'll go back to my mistress. But and then the last act, I don't remember their name either, but it was a guy and a woman, and the guy was playing the guitar and singing, and the woman was standing up there with the flip chart, and it was like a teleprompter, but not a real one, of course. But the flip chart had notes on it, and she would just turn the page every now and then, and it was basically telling him what to banter the audience with. You know, which is kind of goofy, but it's not like she was in the crowd. She was on stage, like, with it, so it was like part of the act. So I thought that was pretty funny. All in all, the show was fine. It wasn't as good as Friday night's, but Friday night's show was just really amazing. So it's kind of deceptive to make it, you know, if you want to say that the show Friday or the show Saturday was bad. It wasn't. It's just the show Friday was so much better. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Definitely the best I've seen at Nickel City. So good job, Eric. That's all the time we have today. Visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com.